diseases. So you can see here how this acute inflammations are converted into the chronic inflammation. First, there will be only chemical irritants or allergic reactions, or there will be infections, flus, or trauma injury, burns, and this later on, when it is suppressed or repeated stimuli is given, then it will convert into the chronic, like cardiovascular diseases, neurological diseases, autoimmune diseases, rheumatoid arthritis, cancer, lupus. So these all are the chronic diseases which require more time for healing. So in naturopathy, why we emphasize on inflammation process, we will try to understand. See, inflammatory and feverish diseases are just as natural, orderly, lawful as anything else in nature. So that's why we have to support this inflammation process. It should not be checked. It should not be suppressed by poisonous drugs. When we are suppressing by giving the medicines, what it will happen? This should be kept it within the safe limit. Now, when we are suppressing the inflammation process, the complete healing process is not initiated. So what is happening? And for example, if we are going to keep this within the safe limit, then we have to adopt the right treatment also. So what is the right treatment? We have to adopt the natural method of treatment. Then only this inflammation will initiate in a constructive tendency. It will initiate in a constructive form. So we will see these are the 5 inflammation stages. How the inflammation is being initiated in an incubation phase, and till the final outcome there is a reconstruction. In all these 5 steps, this is the healing process what is taking place within the body. Now incubation phase. What is incubation phase? So it is the time between the exposure of infectious disease and its development. When diseases are developed inside the body, but the exposure was earlier. So it may last, incubation period may last for few minutes, for few days, few weeks, months, and even years. So it is just an entry of the infectious disease and reaching till its outcome, that is till the development of disease. So when in medically we call it as pre-pathogenesis, and then when the aggravation will take place, that is the pathogenesis stage, how the diseases are being progressed. So aggravation phase, what is happening in this aggravation phase? There is a battle between phagocytes and nature's antitoxins on one hand, and another hand there is poison and microorganisms of disease. They both start fighting. It's like the fight of Mahabharata. So in Kurukshetra, there are one hand there are Pandavas and the people of Pandavas, and the other hand there is Kauravas. So they have now in an aggravation, starting phase of the fight. Now in this condition, what will happen? It is going to increase gradually the increase of fever. Slowly the fever will develop. Then inflammation process will reach its climax. And at the last, there will be an highest degree of feverish symptoms. Why? Because now body is trying to kill the bacteria within, microorganisms, poisons within. So body is increasing the temperature. When body is increasing the temperature, it means there are toxins which are accumulated inside the body, and body is completely trying to expel out. But what happens? Whenever there is a fever, within 2 or 3 hours, we take the medicine and suppress the phase of incubation and aggravation. Now this is going to cause the disease. This is going to result into a disease condition. So we will see the suppression also. Next, now the battle between the force of disease in the destruction phase, the force between the disease force and the healing force of the body, they are under the battle situation. Now due to this, there will be accumulation of exudate to the pus formation and development of abscess, boils, fistula, open sores. So these all are going to be under an destructive phase. Now it also involves the destruction of phagocytes and bacteria, blood vessels, and also the tissues. But in this stage, it ends up in the crisis. Either it will be an healing crisis, it will be a beneficial, or it will be a fatal, that is the disease crisis. So when it is resulting into an healing crisis, it will be always beneficial. But it is suppressed with the wrong treatment or wrong selection of the treatment, then it is going to result into an fatal condition. So if the healing force of an organism is ascendancy, it is going to enhance or supported by the right treatment, which tends to build up the blood, increase the vitality, and promotes the elimination. But if it is not, then it is going to damage further. So if promotion, or if we are promoting the eliminative process, then the debris of battlefield will be cleared, and next step will come abatement phase, where the absorption and elimination of exudate and pus will take place, and during this phase gradually it is going to lower the temperature, lower the pulse rate, and other symptoms like fever and inflammation. Now it is converting into an healing process. So the reconstruction phase is going to clear all the morbid accumulation, obstructions, and the work of rebuilding of the injured part will take place. Now these must not be reconstructed at the last stage of inflammatory. It is most important whenever we are talking about regeneration of the injured part, it is the final step of the inflammation. So reconstruction needs to be achieved at the end of inflammation process. Only will be able to achieve by adopting natural methods of treatment. Now if you neglect or adopt wrong treatment, that part will be left out in the fatal condition, where it can result into an chronic disease. Now how acute diseases are resulting into the chronic diseases, we will just try to understand. See, suppression can happen on the first two stage, which is going to create the foundation for the chronic destructive disease. So first two steps, if it is suppressed, then it is going to create the foundation for destructive disease. But if the destruction phase itself is going to be suppressed by the medicine, sometimes happens that we observe the fever for 2 days, but after 2 days if fever is not coming down, then slowly we will become a patientless, and we will go to the doctor and they get the medicine, and he will prescribe us the antipyretic medicines, where we suppress the destructive phase. Now you see, body was trying to eliminate the morbid exudate and the pus formation in this phase, but we have suppressed, and now this permanently leads in the condition of the destruction. So that organ will permanently become destructive. Now for example, there is a if you talk about the suppression, then I will give you the example. Now for example, if the appendix is not functioning properly, remove from the body. If gallbladder is not functioning properly, or if it is left out in the destructive phase, remove gallbladder from the body. That is not the solution. The right treatment, selection of right treatment is the solution for the disease condition. And last two stages, when it is being suppressed, then definitely the reconstruction or regeneration or regeneration part will not take place, or the symptoms of inflammation is not going to reduce. Even the debris of the battlefield will not be cleared. Now when these damaged cells are not cleared from the body, they will be dumped inside the body, and they can result into the toxicity, and again this healing process body will try to do it. One time will happen where body's immune system is completely suppressed. We are only depending on the external medicines. So this is going to be very painful in our life when the immune system of individual is being affected. Then only the autoimmune diseases will occur. So out of this, all the process what I have told you to understand the healing mechanism, God has given us the system of healing. Why don't we understand within the body when we change the lifestyle, when we change the food habits, when we adopt the natural eating habits or natural food eating habits, we convert completely from the unhealthy food to the healthy food and give some rest to the body. Adopt some health building principles, then we can overcome with the diseases. And this also explained in the Basic Cause of Toxemia book, which was published in 1974. We was talking more about the natural methods of treatment. What is this natural method of treatment? This is explained in naturopathy, dictum of cure. Cure, I have explained you last time very well, that it is an readjustment from abnormal functions of the organism from the body. So abnormal to the normal functions. When you come from abnormal functions and make your body's function normal, that is cure. How we can make it? We just need to return to nature. How our body is being constructed based on the 5 elements, and use of that 5 elements only we can keep ourselves healthy. And we have to adopt these 5 things, 5 based on the principles, that is remove the root cause. You need to remove the root cause. For example, if you have an acidity, last time also I gave you the example in last class, that if you have an acidity and if the spicy food is the cause for this acidity, one hand you start taking or keep continuing taking this spicy food, on another hand keep taking antacid, is not going to cure your problem. It's not going to cure your problem. It's going to aggravate your problem. Until and unless you are not going for eliminating the root cause. You need to remove this root cause. So root cause is spicy food. Remove from the diet. Then you should not, or you may not require the consumption of antacid. Why? Because the acidity will be gone only by changing the diet. Same way, people those who are having the osteoarthritis, the knee joint pain, in that condition the overweight is the problem, and this overweight is the root cause. You have to reduce the weight for curing the osteoarthritis. If you are not reducing the weight, there is no solution. Why? Because you are not removing the root cause. The second is, whatever the toxins are being accumulated inside the body, you need to flush it out. And the best way to flush it out, promote the eliminative processes from all the 4 eliminative channels. By doing breathing exercises, you can promote the elimination from the lungs. By doing physical activity, you can promote the elimination from the skin. Even urine elimination can take place by proper consumption of water, so it will flush the toxins in the form of urine. And also correct diet can help to promote the fecal matter and help to detoxify your body. So these all things you need to keep in your mind for correcting it. The supplementation of vital nutrients will be only when you are consuming the natural food, when you are giving the naturopathic diet based on eliminative diet, constructive diet and soothing diet. I have explained in detail these 3 diets in the last class. Even the conservation of vital energy will take place when you are avoiding the heavy food stuff or fatty foods, because fatty foods and heavy diet require more energy to digest. What you are going to do, you are giving very natural foods which require only less energy. So the other part which was you was using as a more energy is going to conserve now. Now this will become the vital energy. So this is going to strengthen your nervous system and going to provide you more energy when it is being required during a time of infections. It's going to prevent you from causing the disease. The fifth is rest cure. And rest cure, to promote the repair, recover or energy or strength, you need time, and proper time of rest is being provided. These all are the natural methods of treatment. How you are going to maintain these 5 things? I have the RX Wellness Care module for you all. These are the 5 pillars of the health. You need to keep balance of these 5 pillars. Proper nutrition, daily movements, healthy spine, then good quality of sleep, even the positive mental attitude. If you keep the balance of these 5 pillars, you will maintain the health. So how you are going to adopt all these things? Again, I have a 5 health preservation principles for you. If you adopt these 5 principles, then you will maintain your health throughout your life. So based on the Panchamahabhutas, we have 5 principles of health preservation. And these principles are 2 meals in a day. Take only 2 meals which will provide at least 5 to 6 hours of gap between 2 meals, which will result into an good digestion process. And this is going to keep the balance between all the 4 steps of digestion. That is the initial breaking down of the food from complex form to the smaller form, simple form, and then assimilating, then absorption process, and afterwards the elimination. So these all will be kept very in a healthy condition. The elimination will take place by itself when you take only 2 meals. Why? Because proper timings are being maintained between 2 meals, and that is what's sufficient for your body. Even to promote the elimination and to balance the water within the body, 2 to 3 liters of water in a day, if you take it, that is more than enough to flush out the toxins through urine, through bowels, and also through the skin. And as most of the metabolic reactions requires the presence of water, so you are supplementing and water to the body, where your body is becoming alkaline. It's not resulting into the acidic pH, which is not going to cause the diseases. So even the 2 times prayer in a day is going to help you to keep your mind very calm. And also in place of prayer, you can do the meditation, which is also going to calm down your mind and relax your mind. Also during the time of prayer, you can thank to the God who has given you such a wonderful human body, human machine, where you can take care of your human machine naturally and do some of the work of the service. So at least thanks to the God that He has given us such a wonderful human machine. And 1 hour physical activity is going to enhance the blood circulation throughout all the cells, throughout all the organs, which is going to make you full nourished, with each cells going to get good nourishment based on vital supplements of nutrients. So this 1 hour of exercise could be an yoga, could be an Zumba, or even aerobics, or even just free movements, free joint movements at the home. You can do the Surya Namaskaras also, climb the stairs, or anything you can do it for 1 hour. At least spend 1 hour of time for your body. Your body is going to be healthy. Then have a habit of doing fasting once a week. Try to give rest to your body, rest to the physiological functions. Nowadays, intermittent fasting is most popular way to maintain the health, is adopt the intermittent fasting. Also the scientist who did the research on autophagy, that is the Yoshinori, he was the Nobel Prize winner about the fasting. He has seen the excellent results of fasting where the body is replacing the old cells with the new cells, and that is what promoting the healing process. So if you do one fasting or once fasting in a week, that is more than sufficient. And even now most of the people keep some or other day fast as a spiritual fast. Convert that thing based on spirituality and also based on therapeutically. So when you adopt the fasting therapeutically, it's going to give you both the benefit of the human body as well as towards the